What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and we are here talking about UFC 4 again. And as you guys may or may not know, they have changed the rating system from a numbered based system from, I suppose it would be 33 overall to all the way up, I think it's the lowest you can go is 56 or something like that, all the way up to a 99. They've now changed it to a 5-star system, so half a star all the way up to 5 stars, which will be the top champions like Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, people like those. Some people were unsure how it works, and they've explained it, and I thought I would make a video on it just in case you guys missed it, or I know sometimes you guys like to get information from me. I'm not sure why, but some people like the videos, so we're going to get into it. Personally, I have to say the star system makes things feel a bit more fresh for me. Yes, I know it is maybe an unpopular opinion that people don't like it, but in my opinion, I had enjoyed it. To be honest, I thought it was alright. I don't really see much of an issue with that between the numbers. I know maybe it's not as particular as an actual rating system, so it may be hard to tell between the top 5-star guys, but it's just the way it is. They have also released some of the top 50 fighters, which I'll be making another video on very shortly after this one, so get ready for that. This will probably be quite a lot of videos up today. But yeah, we're going to get straight into this one. So to start by saying, UFC 4 has re-envisaged the way players will view fighter overalls. Every fighter in the game will now be given a star value of 1 to 5. That will serve as a representation of their overall ability in the game. That's given, but I suppose they have to say that. In addition to the overall star rating, each fighter will also have a star rating for their stand-up, ground, health, and moves. This is obviously what they talk about, their top 5 moves. This change will allow players to quickly observe and determine a fighter's strengths and weaknesses in specific areas without focusing on a single numeric overall. This overall allows a better assortment of fighters when playing online or against friends on the couch. For returning players and advanced players, you can examine a fighter's individual attribute values as numbers. This will help you determine who has the highest punch power, highest kick speed in each division, and allow comparisons of individual attributes on fighters. So already, the star system is the basic overall, and then obviously when you go deep into the stats, everything is numbered, which is how we like it. We don't want kick speed to be rated in stars, I want kick speed to be numbered, but I'm happy with the overall of stand-up, ground, and general overall to be listed in stars. I quite like it. I think it's new, and that's what I like. New is always better, as some people say. So some new attributes. We've expanded the attribute system to accommodate new gameplay features as well as allow for a more realistic representation of diverse fighting styles that can be seen in the UFC. Here are the new attributes. So they list 6 different things here. You've got punch speed / kick speed. Punches and kicks are split in terms of their speed. So that seems to be consistent with the game. UFC 3 had striking speed, whereas UFC 1 and UFC 2 had kick speed and punch speed, so they're going back to that. You've got punch power and kick power. Punch and kicks are split in terms of their damage they cause, same as UFC 1 and UFC 2. Clinch striking, supporting the brand new clinch system. That's a stat we've never had before, so that'll be good. Ground striking, supporting the brand new ground and pound system. So obviously, yes, striking the clinch and strike on the ground are huge importances in the new UFC, so that's why they've made it a primary stat. Cardio replaces strike stamina and ground stamina, so that's overall cardio, which is good. I've never really been a fan of people or fighters should I say, in the games that when you go to the ground they have more stamina. Exhaustion is exhaustion in general. It doesn't matter where you are. Like when I was training for my fight, it didn't matter if I was on the pads or the bag. I was still exhausted regardless of what I was hitting. So that's just my way of putting it out there. And recovery. This replaces heart and toughness. So obviously this will be when you get rocked or shots you may take to the head or the body, how quick or how well you can recover. On to the next one, which is top 5 moves, which you guys may have seen in some beta gameplay if you had the closed beta or you saw my videos while they were up. The top 5 moves for each fighter will be viewable on the fighter select screens. Players will be able to view which moves each fighter specializes in or has the highest move level for. You can also view the inputs required to use those moves during gameplay. This allows for insight on your opponent's moves as well. Yep, I think that's a great idea. For Conor McGregor, example, they had the left straight. For Cowboy, one of his bottom top 5 were body kicks. For Kobe Covington, he had his wrestling takedowns as his top 5. So I feel that system works beautifully. I think that's good to know what each fighter specializes in. Obviously, of course, they could have a lot of 4 stars and their jab could be a 4-star, but it just could not be in their top 5. But at least for basic understanding, going into a game, you say, okay, I'm against Kamaru Usman. We know his takedowns are the most powerful in this weight class. And you get a grasp of what you go up against. Live attribute and move updates. In UFC 4, we designed the attribute system to be much more organic and allow fighters to improve/decline through in-game updates depending on the results of their performance in the real world. Finally, following major UFC events, a fighter update will be released on UFC 4 with the new attribute and move updates for the fighters. So the first example that comes into mind for this is if UFC 4 was a few years older, is say Brian Ortega, he would have, after he knocked out Frankie Edgar, he would have got an improvement on his uppercut and his power due to that knockout. That is the first example that comes to mind for me. But finally, we have live updates. So now they explain how we got here. You may recognise similarities between the new system and fighter grade system that was implemented for UFC's online ranked championships. The fighter grade system puts licensed fighters into their tiered groups that acted as a modifier for the number of ranking points a user could potentially gain by winning a match. The fighter grades put fighters who were within a specific overall range together in the same pool. Anyone with a 95 plus overall would be an A plus grade. Anyone with a 92-94 overall would be an A grade, and so on. This allowed players to quickly compare their fighter against their opponent and help to decrease mismatch and mirror matches. We saw a positive response from our community and saw an increase in fighter pick diversity outside of the top fighters. I personally feel people sometimes pick a fighter based on who they love inside the real life UFC. Like, I don't think everyone goes for just maxed out stats, in my opinion. You know, I like fighting as Doho Choi. He doesn't have the best stats in the featherweight division, but I like watching him in real life, so I like playing it as him on the game. They also go on to say, we also run into an interesting issue on the UFC team in regards of balance. Unlike any other EA Sports game, UFC fighters do not have great teammates to elevate their weaknesses or to round out their strengths, which, yeah, makes sense. You know, once you're in that cage, you are alone. Sometimes their weaknesses are with submissions, striking, or health. And if they're capitalised on, they would give big advantages to their opponents. Yeah, obviously, you know, if you're not great on the ground and you're against Khabib, he's going to take you to the ground. This is a realistic part of fighting. If you want to expose weaknesses as a player, if you're fighting Francis Ngannou, you probably want to take him down. If you are fighting Damian Maia, you'd likely not want to go to the ground. We need to make these types of strengths and weaknesses clear for our casual player base while also holding on to our authentic strengths and weaknesses of licensed fighters. I think they've narrowed that down perfectly, in my opinion. That is, you know, I think they've narrowed it down quite simply, but also quite beautifully. Most users, when given the choice between a 92 overall fighter and a 91 overall fighter, would choose the 92 overall fighter. The 92 overall fighter may have a high switch stance attribute, which wouldn't have made a significant difference in the balance of the. This led to a number of mirror or repeating matches with high overall fighters. UFC stars allow us to group together a number of fighters while still holding to their authentic strengths and weaknesses. It allows users to know that their fighter can compete with a range of other fighters rather than most choosing the higher overall fighter. I think they have done a great job with this star system. That's all they've written so far. I think they have absolutely narrowed it down perfectly. Personally, I think the star system is new. It's beautiful. I like seeing it. I like that the in-depth stats are going to be done by numbers. And I'm really looking forward to the full game and seeing all of the full star ratings. I'm going to be showing you guys the full roster when the game comes out as well. And I'm very much looking forward to it. I think they've done a great job with this. Let me know your thoughts on the star system and everything I covered down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.